Let's imagine you opened this random video and now you're watching an aesthetic intro going smoothly into the main part, making it look like I know what I'm doing. Until that happens, it is what it is, and what it is, I don't know, it's trying. I'm not a perfectionist. I believe that it's better to start something with the amount of skills and possibilities you have at the moment than to work on something for ages, waiting for it to be perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. You will always find something to improve. And yes, it feels embarrassing sometimes, but when I catch myself thinking like that, I tell myself it's not embarrassing to try, to make an effort, and to make mistakes. Doing nothing feels safe. You won't make mistakes if you won't try, but you won't achieve anything either. Nothing in life will change for the better if you just do everything that feels safe. I'm not talking about anything extreme, but for example, when you have an idea and you feel excited, but then your realistic side starts getting into your head and discouraging you with thoughts like, this is too weird, or what will people say or think of me? It can easily make someone lose their enthusiasm. But then I tell myself, again, people do say or sell weird, pointless shit every day without worrying about anything, about what anyone thinks. Some people succeed only because they have confidence in themselves, not because they have special abilities nobody else does. So that's my view on the subject of being good enough or not good enough to do something. Maybe talking about it makes me look like I don't believe in myself. And of course, there are glimpses of thoughts like that. I'm not a robot, but I talk about it because I want to be fair to myself. I always find it therapeutic to write down my thoughts and look at them from distance later. Sorry. Now it's just a different form. It used to be a diary I was writing since I was a child. And now I think I want a form like this. Now, maybe because I'm not sure how much time is left in this video, it could be a good moment to say something about myself. Let me introduce myself. But why does it always cause a mental block? I hate that saying when someone tells me something about yourself. It feels like when I'm crossing the road and suddenly the car shows up from around the corner. And instead of moving faster, I freeze. I'm one of those people who, if someone in a group said, now everyone will say something about themselves, you would hear me rolling my eyes from across the room. It just feels so stupid and pointless. And that actually says something about me without me saying anything. And no, that's not being shy. It has nothing to do with being shy. I just think it's stupid. I used to be shy, but that's not the point. People would put all my behaviors into one box. She's shy, so she's like that. And I believed that then. Now I would hate that. Later I finally realized that some things I didn't do simply because I didn't want to. What is the point of going around the room and making people say a few words about themselves unless someone is very open and comfortable in every situation? And there's not many people like this. There are exceptions, but most people I know are not that comfortable. It's going to be empty words. They are going to say the most generic stuff just to move on to the next person. Or they might say anything about themselves, but it doesn't have to be true. They could be a completely different person in a natural situation. So, as much as I hate being put on the spot, I'll try to say something about myself now. I'm Emilia. I'm 37 years old and it still feels surreal. I used to be a graphic designer, and the best part of it at first was that I could work from anywhere. Did I work from anywhere? No, but I was working from home, but it felt good that I had that possibility. All I needed was my laptop, but over the last few years I started losing motivation for it. It turns out the limitation for me was being confined to that one laptop, and drawing or clicking on the screen didn't give me what I needed. This year I decided to change that. I left graphic design behind and started focusing on physical art. I was considering choosing painting at first, but I ended up with soft pastels, and it was easier to just grab the box and paper and doodle something or play with it. Even in bed before going to sleep, it was a good choice for me. I love that I can touch it, I can feel it, I love the chalkiness, and that I can hold it in my hands like I'm drawing, but it gives the effect of painting. It gives me the satisfaction I didn't get from digital art, but I do sometimes catch myself thinking Ctrl Z when making a mistake. Coming back to talking about myself, now that I think of it, maybe the problem for me wasn't the talking itself, but the stiff frame I was put into. I digress a lot, and when I start talking about something, I want to show all sides of it and not just shoot some dry facts. Anyway, I think that's all the time I have today, but my opinion is that you learn more about a person by reading between the lines. I'm not suggesting making up stories and opinions based on assumptions, but just observing more. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching and listening. Happy Sunday!